Welcome to Yoga Hour. My name is Brittany, and the word of the day is choice. A little over a year ago, I had been practicing yoga for just about 2 years, and I wanted to deepen my practice, but I didn't think I was quite ready to be a yoga teacher because I didn't think I had room in my schedule to offer classes to anyone. So I signed up for student immersion, which was a class that my yoga studio was offering that was going to teach yoga practitioners more about all the aspects of yoga rather than just the physical practice, which is called asana. So I signed up for it, and a couple weeks later, my teacher informed me that not enough people had signed up and the class wasn't going to make. So I had to make a choice whether I was going to just continue practicing as a student or if I wanted to take the next step and do a yoga teacher training program. So after some thought, I decided that I did want to do that, and I made that choice. And I had no idea at the time how important that choice would be, because in 2019, none of us knew what 2020 was going to be like. And if you were anything like me, you were probably thinking it was going to be a much better year than 2019 was, which had some difficulties here and there. But now that I look back, I realize it wasn't so bad. So our choices really do have echoing impact, and that became very clear to me throughout the year as I experienced yoga teacher training during the hardest year of my entire life. And it was a choice that got me through, to be honest. So I've realized that when I'm moving in my yoga practice and I'm in my body, I'm not so much in my head, and I don't have to make very important choices. My choices on the yoga mat are simply, do I want to do the full version of this pose, or do I need to back out a little bit and listen more to my body instead? So thank you for making the choice to practice with me today, and I invite you to just do what feels good for your body. Make the choice to be in your body and listen to it, and relax in the fact that you don't need to make any big choices when you're on your mat. So with that, let's get started. Come to a comfortable seat. You can place your hands on your thighs. You can place your hands in front of your heart for heart center. We're going to start with one round of the sound Om, and that's going to be a grounding, neutralizing sound. So however you choose, go ahead and you can soften your gaze or fully close your eyes. It's up to you, your choice. So take a deep inhale. Lower your hands if they were up, open your eyes, and let's meet in downward facing dog. In down dog, take a look at your hands, start on your knees. Take a look at your hands and make sure that your index fingers are pointing straight ahead and that you have space, even amount of space between each of your fingers. And make sure that your wrists are a little bit wider than shoulder width. Curl your toes under and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And in this first down dog, pedal it out. Feel what your body is going through and give it what it needs. Take a deep breath And as you exhale, rock forward into a plank position, top of a push-up. In plank, press the floor away from you and tone your thighs, tighten your kneecaps, engage your glutes, tone your abdomens, and round your back a little bit. I did say abdomens, like you have more than one. From here, rock forward, push yourself forward a little bit. Hi, Millie. On your toes. And then bend your elbows straight back so that your forearms are up and down. And place your face on the couch if that's what you have. This is called four-limbed staff. I'm going to back up a little bit. You can lower yourself onto your belly. Place your arms beside your torso, point your palms up, and point your toes with your ankles touching. Again, tone your thighs so that your kneecaps lift off the ground, and now squeeze your shoulders together on your back as you lift your chest. With an inhale, lift your arms and your legs straight back behind you and keep your shoulders squeezing together on your back. You want to tone everything and breathe. And exhale, lower down. And come back onto your hands and push up through plank position. My cat is messing with the camera, the camera stand. Oh, Stella. All right, so from plank position, we're gonna back up again into downward facing dog. And throughout this whole practice, try to keep your focus on your breath. That is the most important aspect of yoga. And then step forward, come into mountain pose. With your arms by your sides, your feet can be together or hip width apart for more space in your low back. Take a deep breath. And then come to standing at the back of your mat. Place your hands on your hips. Take your right foot, step it all the way forward into a lunge. And sit into your hips a little bit. Your back leg can be lifted. If you would like to make a different choice, you can lower your back knee to the floor for more support, and then you can maybe sit deeper into your hips. But you want your front shin perpendicular to the ground, your front thigh more towards parallel. Take a deep breath here. If your back leg is lifted, keep it straight and strong. And then lower your hands, step back into down dog, and then bend your knees and walk your hands back to your mat. For the second side, place your hands on your hips again, and take your left foot and step forward into a lunge. If you wiggle around, that's fine. We're all having fun. So keep your front shin vertical. You want your knee over your ankle. Front thigh parallel, back leg straight and strong, or back knee can be lowered. And then you can place the top of your back foot on the floor. Try to sit one more place lower into your hip right here. And as you're ready, lower your hands and come back into plank pose. From here, take your right leg up and back and step it through for a low lunge. This is regular lunge. Keep your back leg straight and strong, front leg perpendicular to the floor. And then exhale, step back into plank. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back from a plank pose. And then step through for another lunge. We're really opening up our hips in the beginning here. And getting a nice quad stretch as well. And we're always breathing because where would you be without your breath? And now step your back foot forward and fold forward where you are. You can keep your knees bent so that your ribs and thighs stay connected. You can widen your feet to give your low back some more space, but press down on the floor with your hands and let your head hang low. And with your inhale, come all the way up, lift your arms overhead, place your palms together, and then lower them to heart center. Exhale, and come back to the back of your mat. Come onto your knees, and then place your arms in front of you. Again, separate your fingers evenly, grip the floor with your fingerprints, and we're just gonna be here on our knees for this plank. If you want the full plank, feel free to go all the way back to full plank. From here, we're gonna lower down onto our bellies. And this time, again, keep your ankles together, point your feet, and lift your kneecaps. Now interlace your fingers behind your head and move your elbows forward just a little bit to protect your neck. And then with an inhale, lift again your legs and your arms. Keep breathing in this pose as you tone your abdomen and press your tailbone down. And then exhale, lower down. Back into plank pose, top of a push-up. In this pose, you want to round your back a little bit, so it's almost like cat pose, which is the rounding. When you're on your knees, this is cat pose. You want to round your back and keep everything toned. Tone your low belly, don't let it hang down. And then send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. From here, lift your right leg up and back for three-legged dog, and then step through for another lunge. Take your left arm out in front of you, place your left elbow outside your right thigh, and then make your palm flat facing the ceiling. Take your right palm and place it on top of your left, and twist and tone your abdomen to the right. Point your top elbow up, keep your back leg straight and strong, and wiggle a little bit. And then exhale, come back down. Step back into downward facing dog. Now inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Step through for a lunge. Take your right arm out in front of you. Place your right elbow outside your left knee. Open your palm. Place your left palm on top and twist and tone using your abdomen muscles rather than your arms for leverage. Again, your back knee can be lowered or lifted, your choice. Take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, come down again. This time, come into a forward fold in the middle of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold again. Inhale all the way up, palms together into prayer position. Now, bend your knees all the way, send your hips back. You want your thighs close to parallel. It's okay if you're up here, no rush. But if you can, bend them back and sit back on your heels, and then take your right arm out in front of you. Again, do the same action. Place your palms together, twist and tone to the left, and look out straight in front of you. Now, come back up to standing. And with your exhale, sit back down again on your thighs and take your left arm outside your right knee again and twist and tone to the right. Point that elbow up, press down on your feet evenly, sit back onto your heels. And reach all the way up, interlace your fingers, and point your palms straight up to the sky or the ceiling. And exhale, dive down into another forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, back into plank pose. We won't be here for long. We're gonna lower our knees. Then we're gonna lower our chest, our chin, and place our palms outside of our shoulders. This is called 8-angle pose. You get a nice curve in your low back. Send your hips up toward the ceiling. And on your next exhale, extend your legs out behind you and your arms out in front of you. This pose is called Superman. So place your ankles together again, point your feet, lift your knees off the ground, and place your arms out in front of you. And then one at a time, move your arms back a little bit so that they're in the socket. Close your fingers, place your palms together, and then when you inhale, lift your arms and legs. Try to keep those shoulders in their sockets and still extend out forward, and point your feet and extend out back behind you. Tone those thighs together, engage your glutes. With an exhale, lower down and come back into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale. And then bend your knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. And stand up. Now turn and face the long edge of your mat. And come into a wide stance. If you remember, a wide stance equals your ankles under your wrists. This is like a nice star pose. Extend your arms out in opposite directions and feel the strength in your thighs when you press the floor away from you with your feet. And breathe. Okay, now lower your hands and come back to the back of your mat, facing the long edge of your mat. Facing the front of your mat. Turn your right foot out about 30 degrees, a little bit past the front corner of your mat. Take your left foot and step it most of the way to the front of your mat. You want your back heel on the ground. So if that's difficult for you, move your left leg out to the side a little bit. Widen your stance. Now try to square your hips forward. So right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Place your palms together and then bend your front knee. And if you need to move it forward a little bit to give you more space, then do so. And with your next inhale, stretch your arms up and back and lift your chin away from your chest. Keep your abdomen toned and press down in your feet evenly. Exhale, lower your arms. Step your front foot forward. Now take your left foot and step it to the back of your mat and turn it out about 30 degrees so that it's past the front left corner of your mat. Take your right foot and widen it out to the side a little bit if you need some more space to make sure that your hips are as square to this wall as they can be. So move your right hip back, left hip forward, bend your right knee, and inhale, lift your arms overhead. Get your chin out of your chest, extend your arms up, tone your abdomen, press evenly down through your feet. Exhale, lower your arms, step to the middle of your mat. We're going to take a mountain pose right here. So extend your arms down beside you, relax your shoulders, and take a deep breath. Now come to the back of your mat again and take your right foot, step it forward to the front. Not too much that you can't keep your shin vertical to the floor. Take your back foot and turn it so that it is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Now interlace your fingers behind your back, Squeeze your shoulders together on your back. And from here, you can stay here. Keep your feet strong, back leg toned, or you can fold forward inside your front thigh and extend your arms straight up. Relax the weight of your head. Keep those thighs toned. Press your tailbone down and tone your abdomen. One more inhale. And on your exhale, place your hands in front of your foot and step back into down dog. Bend your knees and walk your hands back to the back of your mat. And now, I'm gonna turn this way so you can see me better. Take your left leg, step it to the front of your mat. You can do it in 1 step or 5 steps, your choice. And bring your front thigh parallel with your shin vertical. Turn that back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. And then see if you can line up your front heel with your back arch. From here, keep this thigh toned, this thigh straight. Interlace your fingers again. See if you can switch the cross of your hands so it's like your non-dominant hand on top. Stay here or squeeze your shoulders together on your back and fold forward inside your front thigh and lift your arms for no handed lunge. Take a deep breath. Press down evenly through your feet. And keep your shoulders squeezed together. Lower your hands and then come into a wide leg forward fold. So both feet pointing straight ahead. And exhale, lower down. Place your hands in between your feet and just go as much as comfortable for you. If it's comfortable to go all the way down, you can gently rock forward to rest your head on the floor, but don't bear any weight on your head. Most of the weight should be in your feet, a little bit in your hands, none in your head. And then heel, toe, toe, heel, your feet together. And inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Now I know you can't see my hands, but place your palms together over your head and inhale, stretch straight up. With your exhale, send your hips to one side and your upper body to the other side. So my hips are going to my right and my arms are going to my left. And I'm pressing down evenly in my feet, engaging my thighs, my glutes, my abdomen. Inhale, come back to center. If your thumbs are crossed, switch the cross of your thumbs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send your hips to the opposite direction and your arms to the opposite direction of what they used to be. Keep your palms pressed together and only side bend as much as is comfortable for you. And come back to center. Lower your arms and come to the back of your mat. From here, we're going to step forward to the middle of our mat. Send your arms out in front of you. Close your fingers, point your palms in together, and then lean forward, hinge at your hips, and if you can, lift your back leg so that your arms and back leg are stretching out in either direction. Once you've achieved that, if you'd like to straighten your standing leg, you may do so, as long as you tone your thigh, tighten your kneecap, and tone your abdomen. Now exhale, come back to standing. Second side. Let me switch to this side. Take your left leg, place it in the middle of your mat, bend your knee slightly, extend your arms out in front of you, close your fingers, point your palms together, hinge forward. Carefully lift your back leg if that's accessible for you, and extend in opposite directions. Try to keep your back straight and your hips square. Once you've achieved that, you can straighten your standing leg as long as you tone your thigh and tighten your kneecap. And then exhale, come back to standing. And we're gonna go for eagle. So come to the middle of your mat, bend your knees, take your right leg, cross it over your left. You can use your right foot as a kickstand here, or you can double wrap behind your left leg. Now take your right arm, place it under your left. Stop here for a second and give yourself a hug. You made the choice to be here. You deserve a hug. You can bring the back of your hands together or place your palms together in front of your face. Try to bend a little bit more. Clamp your knees and elbows closed. And then with your next exhale, carefully unwind. Bend your legs again. Take your left leg, wrap it over your right. Either use it as a kickstand if you would need to work on balance, or you can double wrap. Extend your arms out and send your left arm underneath your right before you give yourself a hug. Pause and just enjoy who you are. You're a beautiful being. And then bring the backs of your hands together or place your palms together. Clamp your knees closed, elbows closed. Try to line your hips underneath your shoulders. And on your next exhale, slowly unravel. From here, we're going to come into a seated position. Turn to the side. Extend your feet out in front of you. And place your palms on either side of your hips. Curve your low back in, which will help you to lift your chest, and then tone your abdomen. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and take a nice inhale. On your exhale, you're going to lean back just a little bit, and then carefully lift your feet. You can use your arms, your hands on the floor for leverage, or if you really want a good core workout, interlace them behind your head and use your core muscles to keep your legs lifted off the floor. Exhale, lower down. And then come on to your knees. You might want to give yourself some space. So keep your knees hip width apart, or you can bring them together. Your choice. I'm going to give myself a little bit of space today. And what I'm going to do is curve my low back and look up at the ceiling. Now, that might be a lot of back bend for you. And if that is, stop there. If you can do a little bit more, curve and place your hands on your feet behind you. Relax your neck back, but keep your body firm and strong. Breathe. And then to come out, you might want to sit back. Come out, however, is best for you. It doesn't have to be graceful. Now, separate your knees as wide as your mat and keep your big toes together. Fold forward in front of your thighs, in between your thighs, and extend your arms out in front of you for child's pose. Rest your head on the mat, tone your abdomen, and relax the weight of your body onto your heels. Stay here for one more breath. And inhale. Come on up and come into a wide-legged seat. You might want to take the flesh behind you and move it back. And make sure your toes are pointing straight up at the ceiling. You can even move your thighs out to the side to make sure that your pelvis is more down toward the floor. From here, do the same action of curving your low back in, lifting your chest, and then walk your hands forward until you feel you've had enough. And fold your head down, press down on the floor with your heels and your hands. And a couple more breaths. Inhale, come back up. Now, turn your torso to your right side. Lift your torso and then fold towards your right foot. And if you can only grab onto your right knee, that's great. You're doing something. If you want to hold onto your shin, that's great too. If you want to interlace your fingers behind your foot, you can do that as well. And then lower your head and enjoy the stretch in your body as you breathe. And come on up. Again, turn your torso to the opposite side. I'm facing my left foot. Curve your low back in, lift your chest, and fold forward towards your left foot, or whatever foot you didn't fold towards last time. Place your hands wherever is comfortable for you, and always breathe. As you're ready, inhale, come back up, and then place your feet in front of your hips with your feet touching, or you can place them out farther from your hips with your feet more apart. Find what fits best for your needs today. And then sit up again and just enjoy the stretch. Now we're going to turn and lie back down. Now lift your knees and bring them in towards your chest. Another opportunity to give yourself a hug. I'm all about self-love. You can rock side to side to massage your low back. Whatever feels best for you. You can be still if that's best. Bring your knees out to the side. You can go into happy baby if you want. Just show yourself some love. And then as you're ready, extend your legs out and release your arms by your side for Shavasana. In Shavasana, this is the last pose that we take at the end of yoga practice. This is the pose where you rest and receive the benefits of your work. You can actually receive the benefits of your choice of coming to the mat today. I encourage you to continue lying in Shavasana for as long as your body needs after the video is over. Thank you for practicing.